by Duluth, and that's a big key. And again, maybe get some cobwebs from Kolka. He had to learn the playbook really fast this week.
Turnover.
Yeah, and again, that whole drive, we saw Spruce coming off the edge. Great job generating pressure for this Duluth Harbor Monsters defensive unit. It's going to be a key part, especially with Kolka adjusting to this playbook and the league with the rules. He's going to be a key part in having success for this Duluth team, especially on the opening part of this game. Want to bring pressure quick.
Harbor Monsters led by the leading passer in the league last year, Devontae Johnson. Johnson takes a snap. He rolls to his left, throws it deep downfield, and the ball's caught in the end zone.
Flag on the play, though, thrown by the line judge right as the ball was snapped. I think this one might be coming back.
So we'll get the official word in just a moment.
This is a good passing team. The flag right at midfield. We'll see what they say here. Ball was caught, by the way, by Dan Williams backing into the end zone. But we'll see what they say here.
Neutral zone infraction on the defense. That penalty decline. Result of play is a touchdown.
It is a touchdown for the Harbor Monsters. One play and a big score. So it's Johnson to Williams for 6.
That is a touchdown, Harbor Monsters.
Just like that. And the Harbor Monsters going to go for, what do they say? They're going to go for 1 here. Football thrown out of play there. Johnson will set up. This is the first place team playing against the Lunkers. Their first drive didn't take long. Vertical motion here by the Harbor Monsters. Johnson throws it up in the air and overthrows his intended receiver. Tried the jump ball point after attempt there, and it's no good, but Duluth takes the lead here first in the opening quarter in their first drive of the first play, 6-0 over the Lunkers.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start to the game than that for Duluth. Get a quick 3 and out, and then go back in one play, strike, put 6 on the board. There's no better way to start that one for Duluth, but on the plus side for the Ozarks Lunkers, gives them a quick chance. The offense still a little warm, not sitting on the bench for too long, are able to come back out and get back to work on the offensive side of the ball.
Devontae Johnson's 9th TD pass of the season. Dan Williams' 6th TD reception of the season. And it'll be Dante Mason with the throw off here for the Harbor Monsters. He gets his arm into it. Line drive. I guess it did hit the 10. And that is Mackey getting it right back to about the 10-yard line where the Lunkers will take over 1st and 10.
In the tackle was number 24.
That was very close to the ball not getting over the line of scrimmage. The 10, I should say, which they have to the ball has to land past the 10 on the other side of the football field for it to be a successful throw-off. So the second possession here for the Lunkers and their new starting quarterback, Tyler Kolka. He hands it off to Mackey, rolling right side on his feet, still on his feet. Finally pushed into the wall as he gets very close to a first down. They are going to say,
Brandon Mackey,
I believe they're going to say that's
by a few monsters on the way
10 yards on the run by Brandon Mackey, the leading rusher in the league. We'll see the replay here. Well, we won't. We did see the replay. And it's 2nd and short here for the Lunkers. A give again is to Mackey going left this time. This time he's got the first down and dragged down at the 19-yard line.
And this is a great way to get the offense, especially with a new quarterback. Get the running game going early. Open up these passing lanes by bunching up down on the line. It's a great way to get back and settled into things for Kolka. And just let Mackey get run of the work right now. And he's doing great right now, not lining up on the line empty.
Back to Kolka. Kolka goes short to Mackey. Mackey with a nice move after the catch. And he is going to be dragged down at the 14, maybe 13-yard line. Another good gainer there on the short pass to Mackey. And Mackey being 5'8", you got to throw it kind of low.
Yes, you do. And again, this is great. Just going to the short game. You still got the field to operate. Quick, easy passes for Kolka. Love how this drive is going right now for the Lunkers.
2nd down and short. Mackey with the run. Cuts inside, outside, now gets the first down as he crosses the 10 down to the 7. How about that stutter step move by Mackey to get the first down? Little second effort.
Not a lot of room to operate, but when you're the size he is, you're able to make those types of moves more effectively. The stutter step working, able to fight. That play was in the backfield, was able to fight not only to get out, but also for 4 yards and a first down and inside the 10. Great play, Mackey.
First and goal for the Lunkers. Vertical motion, wide open, inside the 5. Ball is caught by Emery Bryant down to the 2-yard line. Boy, 2 Mack trucks hit head on right there inside the 5.
Once again by a few monsters.
And Bryant moves
second down
to about the 3-yard line. Second down. We're going to have a quick timeout here as the replay shows the nice set. Look at this, in tight. You talk about the power game here for the Lunkers. The give up the middle. This is Mackey gets outside
Brandon
and
Mackey
scampers
with
in
the carry.
from
That's
2
good
yards.
for Lunkers.
Ties the game at 6. Mackey, they go with the power formation. He takes the ball, starts up the middle, cuts outside, and wins a foot race.
And that's something that Duluth is going to have to be able to do is contain. Mackey, a great running back, has some power on him, but he does a lot of damage if he's able to get outside, as we're able to see there. Contain's going to have to be there for Duluth throughout this game.
Tied at 6. Koka gets the play. Play clock down to 10, so he's got some time. He sets the offense, vertical motion, snap back to Koka, throws it short to Mackey, incomplete. So we're tied at 6.
No good.
Each team with a failure on the extra point, and the ball will go back to the Harbor Monsters here in the first quarter. 9:27 to play. It's the only game in the league tonight.
Yes, it is. It'll be very interesting just to come down with the standings that we still have a bye week, and that'll come in between our next home game, the July 12th against the Iowa Woo, to where then we'll have a bye week in between that before we go play the Duluth Harbor Monsters on the road. Very interesting, especially saying that other teams will still have one more game to play for the season.
Looks like Johnson Sanders with the throw-off for the Lunkers. Dropping back deep is Deron Maxwell. Sanders throws a bullet. Caught at the 5, bouncing off the leg of Maxwell. It tries to get outside to the left, and a good foot tackle made by the Lunkers defensively. That is Daniel with the stop from special teams.
Special teams with the Arena League. It's very dangerous on the return to cut back up the middle. A lot of space opens up. If you're the one defending that, got to keep him inside. Great form tackle by Daniel right there.
How about the fastball throw-off from the Lunkers? I mean, you see them lofted up in the air to get it that far, but that was about a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. So again, Johnson has his team set. He'll give to his running back here. This is Harden. Harden trying to get outside to the left, and he is tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play. James Harden, not to be confused with the NBA's James Harden. The beards are a little bit different.
Bring up second down, and no gain on the play.
This James Harden played at Tyler Community College and has played in a lot of arena leagues over the years. Javante Johnson, a high snap over the head. He's going to throw it away. And a wise play there by Johnson. Knew the defense was coming at him. And in his face quickly was Gabe Smith.
And Gabe Smith almost put him through the doors. Now you see some staff going to put it back into place. High snap in that area. Very dangerous. Had to get that one. Luckily, able to get that one out quickly. Almost very dangerous for Duluth. So now they're taking time, and now the refs are talking right at the 5-yard line. We'll see what that is about.
Well, it was a smart play by Johnson. The ball went over his head. The safety. Nice crowd. It's kind of a late arriving crowd. Throw downfield. Caught inside the 5 by the Lunkers, and not going to go very far after that. I've seen the 7-on-7 difference from last year's 6-on-6. You don't see as many breakaways on the throw-off this season as you did last year. Part of it, I think, may be experience with the special teams, but you're not seeing – we had a lot of special teams touchdowns last year in this league by all the teams.
And there's only been 4 return touchdowns for the entire year in this second season of the Arena League.
Kolka throws it short, nearly picked off, or at least defended well, threw it into double coverage.
Second down.
Intended for Brandon Mackey at about the 10, and he had 2 defenders on him. So that was a dangerous pass.
This part of the field right at the 6-yard line, expect the pressure. Got to be able to get those short passes off because you don't have enough time to develop a deep route, especially with Spruce coming off the edge, who has been getting pressure this entire game.
Here's a pitch to Mackey getting outside to the left. He is pounded into the wall at the 10. That'll be a gain of about 5, maybe 4 on the play. And it'll be third down.
And that pitch play is honestly a really good run play for this type of league. That pitch can get you outside of the defensive lineman with how quick you have to cut upfield. Not enough room to run on the outside. That pitch play ran effectively, has done really good work for the Lunkers, as that one he's able to get outside. Unfortunately, gets thrown into the wall.
Vertical motion. Here's a deep pass downfield. Man open. Caught by Matt Rush.
Pass is complete to number 2, Matt
The
Rush.
ball
And that
by
is good
Kolka
for
to
Lunkers.
Matt Rush for the score. Perfect pass by the new Lunkers quarterback.
We saw him showcasing the arm talent before the game, hoping to see some early and some late fireworks now from Kolka. What a bomb all the way to Matt Rush.
Didn't mix up his steps at all, just perfect stride, making that catch at the 5 and strolling in from there. A 40-yard touchdown reception for Rush. Kolka with the extra point here, Rush in motion. Kolka dropping back, fires to Mackey. Mackey is going to be wrestled down at about the 5 on the extra point. It's no good, but the Lunkers now with a 14-6 lead here in the opening quarter, 6:15 to play. Has Kolka made a difference already for the Lunkers?
14-6 with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Great back-to-back drives for the Lunkers, and I would agree with you. Kolka is already making a huge difference for this team. One thing that was really missing from this team, as we have seen for the Lunkers, was really the presence of a good deep ball threat. In a league like this, the deep ball, if you can dial it up in the right times, is going to do wonders for your offensive unit. And this might be proving to be a really, really good addition for this team if the deep ball starts to connect better for this team as we get on through the season.
So again, the throw off here by Johnson Sanders. Not as much speed on that one. Caught in the end zone by Maxwell. Takes it up the middle, bumps off one defender, sidesteps another, cross midfield, and down at about the 22-yard line of the Lunkers. So good return by Deron Maxwell of Duluth.
Special teams play great for Duluth so far. Doing a great job on the returns, getting great field position for this offensive unit. And that's one point of the Arena League. If you have a good special teams unit, it's going to do a lot of really good things for your football team. Now on the other side of the field already, especially after the safety, it's a good chance to get your offense in a good position to respond. Special teams always in a more important part of the football than most people normally look over to.
Motion vertical by Duluth. Here's a pass left side, incomplete. That's intended for 6'5" Jamal Couch from Mississippi State. Ball a little bit too wide for him. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Harbor Monsters.
It will be interesting with the pass rush to see how it affects, as the starting D lineman L. Tyser not playing tonight. So the D-line looking a little different, as now you'll see Travis on some of these linebacker blitzes.
Pick play set up on the right side, incomplete. You saw, got to see this again, a little pick play.
Third down.
Blocker in motion went over to pick the defensive player, and the Lunkers read that beautifully. May not see it again, but just a well-designed defensive play on that quick hitter. Johnson, who led the league in passing last year with nearly 1,900 yards in the regular season, passes back to Brockman. Brockman trying to get outside as he runs about 40 yards to pick up 7.
On the field.
And a flag on the play right at midfield.
So we'll take a moment to get the official word. Flag on the field.
So the officials will huddle up and talk about this. Now, the interesting thing about that, I think the Harbor Monsters will set up. Here's the call by the official. Holding.
Holding defense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. Repeat, second down.
So holding against the Harbor Monsters.
Holding penalty.
Brockman is a guy that will pass the ball
Correction,
too.
third
He's
down.
got nearly as many yards as the starting
This will
quarterback
still be
Devontae
third
Johnson
down.
passing. So the fact that they lateraled that back, that's going to set up a play coming up with him passing it downfield. So they wanted to show that, and you'll see coming up sometime during the game, Brockman passing. Johnson scrambling in the backfield. Now he's going to throw it. It is caught. Not much going on there.
Number 16, Ladarian
Into the
McAllister.
wall it goes.
He stopped pretty quickly, though, by
That's
number
Couch
5,
with the
Brock Carter.
reception.
This will bring up 4th down.
And it'll bring up 4th down. Stand corrected. McAllister with the catch there for the Harbor Monsters. Number 16 as opposed to number 6.
Big 4th down coming up for this Lunkers team. The underneath route was good to get in a good position for the Harbor Monsters. Got to send pressure here.
James Harden in vertical motion. He's going to run downfield. He's open in the end zone. And he makes the catch in the end zone, being defended beautifully by the Lunkers,
That pass is
but
complete.
trying to snap that ball
Pass
out
is
of his
complete to
hands. The
number
defender
20, James Harden,
missed
touchdown.
just barely,
Harbor
and a
Monsters.
great catch by James Harden. Harden was a motion man, so he had a little quick break on the play. The Harbor Monsters will go for 1 here. You'll see the play right there. Into the wall they crash. And it's 14-12 now. Harbor Monsters going for 1. Quick pass left side with the catch. It's Couch and in for the
Excellent try,
1-point
good.
conversion.
Pass was complete
So
to
it's a
number 6,
1-point
Jamal
game,
Couch.
14-13. Lunkers on top of the Monsters, 3:12 to play in the opening quarter, just exactly what we expected coming in.
And Duluth already showing how they are one of the best passing teams in the league for a reason. Passing game working very well for Duluth coming out of this
Lunkers will
one.
get the ball next
You
on the
can't
throw.
let anyone on
Lunkers
this team
keep
get
the
a
lead,
step, because anything over the
14-13.
middle and they allow you to get a step over, that one's going to be in the bucket and in the red turf. So the Lunkers got to be able to change up the scheme, got to get back deeper in the secondary, got to break to the ball quicker, but then also the Lunkers have been able to respond so far, so we will see. Also been a very physical game, as twice they've had to repair or fix the barricades along the wall. One by the door here closest to us, and then over there with that play with Harden along the wall.
Throw downfield. The throw off is caught by the Lunkers inside the 5, trying to get outside and bowling his way forward
Dante
near
Mixon
the wall
on the throw for the Harbor Monsters.
for the Lunkers.
On the return was
Well,
number
if that
4.
was- nope, that
Bryant
was
Jr.
Emery.
And again, the stop was also
Bryant
number 4, but this was
Jr.
Kevin
with the
Simmons.
return. He's their leading return man. Got outside and rambled all the way to the
Lunkers will
15-yard
start
line,
on their own
16-yard line. That's where the
line. This is
Lunkers
a
take over
fresh
first and 10.
First down.
Kolka brings his offensive unit up. Show some different offensive sets here. Kolka, quick hitter on the right side, across the 20-yard line to about the
Pass is
22.
complete to number 2.
That is Matt Rush, who caught the
stopped by number 24,
touchdown pass
Amanis
for
Butler.
the Lunkers on that last possession.
Second down.
They go in tight here. Kolka clapping his hands. Takes a snap, gives the ball to Mackey, trying to get outside to the right. He crosses the 20 and bowls his way all the way down to the 15 of the Harbor Monsters.
Brandon Mackey with the carry.
And we've seen multiple times this
And there
year,
were a few
Mackey and this
monsters that were
Lunkers
kinda
unit
doing a push and a stop
fight for those extra
for
yards, and right there,
for
another
Duluth.
good example of it. Grit shown there from Mackey, fighting all the way down
Timeout
to
on
the 15.
Center. Motion man. Going vertical rush again. Here's a pump fake, and there he is again, Mr. Spruce. Level Spruce with another sack, his second of the game.
For the Monsters.
He had 4.5 last year. He may get that in this game.
And right there again, try to go quick and underneath, but this time Spruce was barely touched as he came off the line on that one. Not a complicated play to make for Spruce at all.
Spruce 6'2", 245, played at Kent State. Here's Mackey getting outside on his feet and pushed into the wall and a late hit. No doubt about it. Mackey was stopped, taking a break, almost got a drink of water before he was hit again.
We'll get the official word in just a moment.
And that'll be a penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct there.
So you'll see it again here, gets over, and then, yep, just a blatant late hit right there. That's going to be an automatic first down for sure also for the Lunkers.
Richie Murphy with the hit for the Harbor Monsters. 1:25 to play in the first quarter. 14-13 our score. Lunkers lead it. Officials going to walk this one off. They're talking about it right now. Byron Pearson is
After
the
play,
white hat.
Foul. Defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Half the distance to the goal. They mark him at the 6 of the
We're in the
Harbor
Simmons
Monsters.
Bank
Here's
Red
that
Zone,
power
Lunkers
formation
fans.
again. Under center. Here's the pitch outside. Mackey's going to turn, go back the other way. Cuts in, inside the 5, down to the
Brandon Mackey
2
with the
before
carry
he's
for the
tripped
Lunkers.
up. Started to go right, stopped on a dime,
he's met
went
by
back
Deron
left,
Maxwell.
cut up the middle, and gets
And
it
Richie
inside
Murphy
to the
for the
2-yard
stop.
line.
Second
And it
down.
worked perfectly. Everyone bit towards the left. It's great vision on the field from Mackey to see that to cut back up the field.
In tight again, they give to Mackey, and this time he is met rudely in the backfield.
Brandon Mackey with the carry.
And there is Spruce again.
Latavius Workman with
That
the
man
stop.
is a one-man wrecking
Third down.
machine. Played at Kent State. We talked about that. He was also a high school track standout. Hurdles. I mean, he 6'2", 245, and he runs like that.
Now getting a new group out, changing the formation back.
Third and goal here for the Lunkers. Kolka drops back, being rushed, throws it, and it's caught, intercepted.
Pass is
Pass
incomplete.
intended for Mackey, and it's intercepted from behind. Good play by Richie
This will
Murphy.
bring up fourth
Flag
down.
on the play, though. I think this might be on the tackle on Kolka. Could be a face
We have a
mask
flag
of
on
some
the
kind.
field.
That's what it looked like he was signaling for.
We'll get the word in just a moment.
As now
Flag on the field.
personnel changes. Well, Kolka staying on the field.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense. Half the distance to the goal line. Automatic first down.
That defensive penalty against
So
the
personal
Monsters
foul
will give us
against the
another
defense.
fit fresh first down, Lunkers.
They're going to move it now to the 3-yard line, and the drive continues for the Lunkers.
Only
14 seconds to play. In tight again. Snap. Fake handoff. Rolling to his right. The ball caught in the end zone on the
Pass is
rollout.
complete to
Johnson
number 8,
Sanders
Rashay Johnson
jumping up to
Sanders
make the
for
catch.
Lunkers.
And a pass from Kolka keeps the Lunkers on top of the Harbor Monsters.
Touchdown.
And with how many times they ran out of that one, the play action was inevitable, and they used it right at the right time. They originally bit on the underneath route where they thought that ball was going, and then Johnson Sanders able to just slip through coverage, find himself all alone.
And they'll go for 2 here after the touchdown. 1.6 seconds to play in the quarter. Kolka, it's a man in motion. Kolka rolls to his right. Going to throw it into the end zone and overthrows his intended receiver and then gets knocked into the
Helmet pops off, and then a little shoving afterwards. Kolka's helmet flies off.
And we have a break here. The second quarter coming up. With Acavius Daniel will throw it away. Little sidearm toss goes into the stands, and that means the Harbor Monsters will get it at midfield. It's like they're trying out for different people to throw off, aren't they, in this game?
Yeah, every game that me and you have called, it's always been a different guy. They always just cycle through on guys to throw off. It's an interesting thing to see. Not really sure 100% the reason for it is. Even one of the games against St. Joseph, they were doing really good on their throws towards the sideline, but they kept switching guys in and out. So very interesting to see on how that is a way that the special teams is ran in this arena league.
It's easy. The coach said, hey, guys, we're looking for somebody that can throw it off. Everybody raise their hands. So there you go. All right, we'll try everybody till we find somebody. Johnson ready to go in the backfield by himself. He hands it off to the motion man going right. Not much going on there. Stopped on the play by Brock Carter. Who else but the Defensive Player of the Year for the Lunkers last year. Carter, an MSU product
for the Harbor Monsters
from Springfield.
Brock Carter
no gain on that carry.
Second down.
Jet sweep there, contained perfect right there. Everyone held with their blocks, shifting to the outside. Not a lot to move. Great contain right there for that jet sweep.
Couple men in motion. Downfield. Johnson's going to throw it into the sideline and up in the air and over nearly. The ball was caught by Couch, but he paid for it as he left his feet.
And not only that, I think he will lose a yard too with that throw right there. And that's one that's going to be in a highlight reel. What a hit along the boards.
I think they tell the people in those suites along the outside to be careful. You could be part of the action. In the backfield is Brockman. This could be the play. Here he does throw it to Brockman, intended for Brockman, and
pass was incomplete.
In the backfield once again. That is Gabe Smith in there quickly for the Lunkers. Boy, Gabe got in. Great penetration that time. Again, he had Brockman in the backfield. Looked like that double pass was set up, but Johnson decided to not pass until the very last moment.
And again, Smith replacing El Tyser, not playing in this one, and great pressure right there.
Timeout on the field. Ozarks, first timeout of the half.
Timeout for the Lunkers here. 13:03 to play in the first half. 20-13 our score.
And it may not completely show on our scoreboard as I'm looking at it, but both teams with a charged timeout. So both Duluth and the Lunkers with 2 remaining with 13:03 left to go here in the first half. Just something I'll keep you updated on as the game goes on. Looking at this one, so far defense for the Lunkers really improving here on this drive. Pressure's getting there, great contain. Secondary's playing great downfield, doing really great on this defense. Nothing really to nitpick on this one. Having a great defensive drive. Now you just got 1 4th down. Not in territory, I think, for Duluth, where they're going to surrender the ball. You're at midfield, down 7. Not going to be surrendering in this scenario. So a big play now here for this Lunkers offense or defense to try and get the offense back onto the field in favorable field position. Looking to see, especially with that pitch play that they do run to Brockman. Definitely something I have to look out for, but as right now it looks like he's lining up on the outside. Number 11, Flowers Jr., almost 10 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yep, vertical motion by him. Downfield, Johnson all kinds of time. He's going to throw it, and it is caught once again by his big receiver, Dan Williams, enough for a first down. Duluth's only loss this year was to Hot Springs. That was in Duluth, by the way, at the Deck Arena. It was a score of 43-31. Kind of a surprising outcome there, but we saw Hot Springs last week. That's a formidable team. Lots of speed, lots of size. 1st and 10. Johnson goes short. Ball caught by Brockman. Motion man picks up about a yard.
Pass is complete to
It'll be 2nd and 9 now for the Harbor Monsters. Last year, Duluth beat the Lunkers 4 straight times, 44-38, 67-60. Then it got out of control, 51-18 and 50-18. Not much challenge put up by the Lunkers in those last 2 games. Johnson Pitches left side, ball is dropped, and then hit right away is Brockman. That was a bullet thrown by Johnson. Little lateral pitch to his left, and Brockman walking over to have a word with his quarterback. Hey, man, lighten up a little bit on that pass.
And on that one right there, it was right there. Johnson realized he's right at the line of scrimmage outside of the hash marks. You cross over the line of scrimmage outside the hash marks, it's a penalty. Had to just get rid of it. Try to throw it back to Brockman.
Snap back to Johnson. He's going to throw it in the end zone. Wide open is Dan Williams. Got the step on his defensive player. Had 5 yards on him, and an easy score for the Harbor Monsters, who now trail 20-19. Williams with the touchdown reception.
And again, Travis leaving his normal spot in the middle of the field at the linebacker spot to pick up on that one. And that one's not going to be one he's going to catch up to quickly. Great just play design right there from Duluth. The defense bit on the right side and was just able to find the wide open man.
These quarterbacks are good enough. If you give them that much time, somebody's eventually going to be open.
Look at
And
this
he had
motion.
all kinds of time. Here's a ball intercepted by the Lunkers, trying to run it out of the end zone. And down finally is Bird. Jadarius Bird leaping high to pick that one off. And you can run it back defensively on a point after attempt. Bird did that, but didn't go far.
And I know that some people watching at home might be new to arena football, and I want to clarify on the formations and specifically the motions that the offense is allowed to make. There's no real limit to how far of a motion you can take. We'll see guys lined up 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage to get a running start. The only rule is that you have to stay behind the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped. You cross it, then it's an obvious outsides. But as you can see there, we've seen Duluth go completely over and around the field as we saw just now. On one of the plays, they were about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. So allows the offense to be a little bit more creative with their scheming on their offense, how they want to do the formations, and definitely new challenges for the defense on how to pick up men when they cross over half the field on motion plays like that.
Yeah, you can go either lateral motion, a loop motion, or forward motion, and we've seen all of those in this game already. Throw off for Duluth, and it's going to go into the stands, and the Lunkers will take over at midfield. Bryant,
that was a very nice catch.
Emory Bryant Jr. was back deep for Ozarks, so they'll get it at midfield. Again, 50-yard field, and then width-wise, this field is not quite as big. It's 85 foot.
Who's going to be throwing the ball off?
Throws it downfield, just does cross the 10-yard line. Emory Bryant Jr. with the return is hit at the 10 and dropped right there, actually pushed back. So the Lunkers will get it. Not quite the field position they thought at midfield, but they get it at their own 9. Nice bounce there. We saw a lot of bounces last week that weren't as nice as that. Ball was bouncing all over the place.
No, not at all. But I do think that low throw is more favorable in the throw off here because the bounce is going to be way more unpredictable. And if you're able to get it there, it's hard to judge if it's going to hit the 10 or not. Really throws off the return man. And I love the low throw right there for the throw off.
Rush in motion vertically. Kolka going to throw deep downfield. Got a man in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Johnson Sanders. He's 6'4", 220 pounds, leaped up near the wall, had a step on the defender. It was Butler trying to defend him, but the ball was just a little too high that time for Johnson Sanders. Remember, he caught the game-winning touchdown, last-second touchdown against St. Joe in Game 1 this year. 2nd and 10 for the Lunkers. Kolka in tight this time offensively. The give is to Mackey, gets outside to the right, still on his feet, to the 15 and crosses over to about the 16 where he's pushed into the wall.
Mackey with the carry.
And that one right there, you had 3 for Duluth around him right there and able to just take a step and turn a play that should have been in the backfield and turn it into 6. Great play right there from Mackey, as he was a little quiet last week against Hot Springs, really finding his step back in this one against Duluth.
Vertical motion by Key. Pass to Key. He gets it. First down for the Lunkers. Little down and out. Pretty simple play there. The motion man Key goes forward, and then 10 yards out, he takes an out route and makes an easy catch and a great pass by Kolka.
Yep, safety has to pick up on that, and on an out route ran that way. Good route running right there from Key. Not able to pick up on that one in time. You could run that play 100 times from that formation. They're going to get it the majority of the time.
Kolka's done a good job time management-wise. 2 seconds on the play clock here, but you think about it, first, he loses a ball as he was trying to make a pass, but he picks it up, and they're fighting for it right now. Kolka had it, but they tried to take it away under the pile, and they're now going to say it's Harbor Monsters' ball. Looked like Kolka brought it in, but then they scrambled underneath, and below the pile, you see Kolka down on the
fumble
ground. He was explaining what had happened there.
And this is going to be one they're probably going to look at. I don't know how well of a camera angle they're going to get on that, but I don't think there's going to be much of a case here made from Kolka. I think this is going to stay with Duluth.
I think that's part of the game, isn't it?
Yep.
When you're down underneath in a little scrum like that.
Got to fight for it the whole way through, and right there Duluth just was able to get the ball right towards the end. So we'll see it here. He rolls out right, went for it, loses the football off a push, has it here, and I think on that dive right there is able to lose because he has it right there in his arm. I think it was right here on the contact from 24 maybe. Has the ball right there. Maybe slipped out under his left arm right there from the contact from the reinforcements from Duluth.
Harbor Monsters a chance to take the lead here in the second quarter. Vertical motion man, the give up the middle. Not much going on there. Maybe a gain of 1 for the Harbor Monsters. That's James Harden, running back from Tyler Community College, a veteran of several Arena League teams over the years. Wide receiver, running back, just a little bit of everything for these teams. Double motion again. Here's a pass to Williams. It is caught right at about the 15 of the Lunkers. Williams, all-time leading receiver at Jackson State with nearly 2,500 yards, receiving yards. He's #1 all-time. You remember who played at Jackson State before they went to Colorado together.
So now you also see is Hassan Brockman now under center for Duluth on this one.
Snap back. Here's a pass downfield. Yeah, different quarterback in there right now. This is Brockman. We talked about Brockman as a running back, and he's taken over at quarterback here for Javante Johnson. That one slipped out of his hands. He had 365 yards passing and 15 TDs as a quarterback this year. That's more than Johnson. Gets a snap, looking downfield, is going to throw it deep and into the stands. Incomplete, intended for Couch, and the Lunkers will take over.
Defense doing their job protecting this lead right there. Brockman, that play, just a little out of the reach right there for Couch. A route was there, just has to be able to put that one on a better spot. However, looking over towards the Monsters side of their bench, as you see, Johnson is on the, he's upset, but also he was on the trainer's table, so maybe injury or some sort. He's had his helmet on the boards for a minute, but then switches over and sits onto the trainer's table. So we'll keep you updated on that one as that develops.
Kolka dropping back, fires quickly. Ball is caught over there for Kendrick Payne, his first catch of the game.
Kendrick Payne. Second down.
Lunkers' leading receiver this season. Kolka talking it over with Dante Mason.
It's now the 6th different Lunker to be able to get a reception on the ball. So spreading the weapons out on this one. Everyone getting a hand in this one.
How about Coca's time management, though? Remember last week? We had some experienced quarterbacks who couldn't figure out the play clock. This time, Mackey nowhere to go on the right side. Told you this is a good Harbor Monsters defensive line, interior line.
And I think right there out of that formation, they've just started to realize that it's been mainly that run play, that type of run play out. So they shifted right to it. Maybe play action will be called for next time we see that play because everyone's biting on that formation right there. If it's the pitch out or just the direct hand off to Mackey, everyone's biting on that one. So we'll see if maybe they change up. Not a lot of play action ability out of it. You got one outside receiver. Maybe Johnson Sanders off a quick rub route.
Twins to the left. Coca's going to go short. There's Payne again at midfield. And a pile-on situation there. Going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down marker.
And that time there was a rub route just to the wrong man. This time it was to Payne, as Payne and Johnson Sanders lined up on the ends of the line.
Coca looks at his wristband, his play on his hand. After it's called, takes a snap, rolls to his left. It's quick. It is caught by Mackey. Mackey trying to lateral it back, but he is hit and dropped. And the blitz was on. Coca was running for his life. He was able to complete the pass, but well defended by the Harbor Monsters. Great job to call the blitz there on that particular play.
And I think if you're the Lunkers, you got to get ready to start taking shots. The Monsters are just being able to do a really good job of covering the short field and the run. They're expecting those short plays. And it's already one of your touchdowns has been from a deep bomb, a 40-yard pass to Matt Rush. I say on this next drive you get on the offense, first play of the game, you got to take a shot downfield.
Johnson back in at QB. Brockman behind him. Again, he's still got this set up for that double pass. Johnson's going to throw it to his running back, Brockman, who tried to make a one-handed catch on that left sideline, but it fell out of his fingertips and to the turf, incomplete. 3:49 to play in this first half. Lunkers lead 20-19. Harbor Monsters with the football, trying to take the lead.
Again, Brockman way behind the line. Now shifting up in a forward motion.
Ball downfield intended for Brockman again, and it's incomplete. Pass a little too tall. Defended well by the Lunkers. There's Daniel and Ewing Jr. Ewing Jr. back defending on the play.
Daniel had a great cut up to get back to the play. A little underneath. If he gets that, he goes a little bit more up with it instead of underneath at the field. That's probably an interception, but nonetheless, still a great cut to the ball to get back to his man up the other end of the field. And again, that door almost flying open for the second time tonight.
Under 3 minutes to play in the half. Vertical motion again. Johnson running downfield. He'll throw it, and it's nearly intercepted by the Lunkers. Ewing Jr. tried to juggle that ball and bounce it to himself, deflect it to himself, but he couldn't hang on. Incomplete, and it brings up a fourth down.
That's when, as a defender, you see that one, it's a freebie. You get excited, and then all of a sudden, falls out of the hands. That's when he's going to shake his head over for the rest of this one. But 3 straight incompletions. The secondary really working for the Lunkers here. It's getting close to 2 minutes. Huge play on this fourth down.
Really is. Fourth and about 10, and the play clock expires. See if they called time or if they get the penalty here.
Delay game, Duluth. 5-yard penalty.
Now that makes it a 15-yard play to get to the first down marker in between the 15 and the 14 on the other side of the field. It's going to be closer to the 14.
Ryan, that's what's so impressive about the Lunkers quarterback. He has not had one of those. Less than a week to prepare for the game, just deciphering all the plays, and he hasn't had one of those yet. 4th and long for the Harbor Monsters. Johnson looking deep, throws it deep, and it is a flag in the end zone. There's no doubt about that. Leaping in with no idea where the football was Brock Carter, and that was a no-doubter against the Lunkers.
And that's one right there where Jamal Couch, honestly,
Pass interference, defense. 10-yard
he
penalty
jumps a
from the
little
previous
early on
spot.
that one.
Automatic first down.
So if you're Couch on that one, he jumps a little early. Carter has no idea where the ball's going. You see a guy jump, your immediate instincts, and then just try and jar the ball loose. So jumping a little early on that one actually helped Duluth because Carter then goes in a little early because he thinks the football is going to get there sooner than actually was.
The penalty will be first down.
Should have our 2-minute warning coming up.
At the 19-yard line.
2:02 to play.
New life for Duluth within 2 minutes. Got to score here.
Quick pass. Oh, nice pick there into the end zone. And the score. And no flags on the play. Great pick for McAllister to score in the outside right down the sideline. Scores from near midfield, and the Harbor Monsters do, in fact, take the lead. There was a nice little block made right after he made the catch. Hopefully we'll see that one again.
I hope we do too, but that's just textbook right there on that play. Quick out route, that type of block right there is the difference between a big gain and a loss in the backfield, and that's just a textbook example of it right there. Lowers the shoulder. Still a legal hit came from his side, not from the back, so it's not a blind side, but a great block right there from McAllister.
Going for one here. Johnson fakes the pitch, fires a bullet into the stands, and it is incomplete. And the Lunkers will take over, trailing 25-20. Souvenir to the a group of military guys that are lining up to be recognized. We'll have that at halftime, so make sure you stay tuned. We'll go to that as soon as we can. Lunkers, they have plenty of time to get into the end zone themselves here.
They do, but you have to keep in mind that guys can't score too quickly either because Duluth will get the ball to start the second half as the Lunkers started with the ball for the first half. So don't want to leave too much time on the clock for Duluth to be able to make a play and then get the ball back, but still got to score. So important drive coming up as this is a type of drive right here. The Lunkers score, something goes awry where the whole momentum of the game can shift, and a game like this can turn into 2 or 3 scores at the snap of a finger. So got to be ready for this one for the Lunkers. This is a drive they need to put some points on the board.
Here's the throw off. Downfield. Caught by Bryant Jr. trying to get outside of the right. Cuts back and tripped up from behind at the 16-yard line, and that's where the Lunkers will take over 1st and 10. 25-20 our score. Bryant Jr., 1 foot in the end zone, runs it out to the 16-yard line and caught from behind. Good shoestring catch or tackle there by Richie Murphy. Well, let's see what the new quarterback Tyler Kolka can do. Here, the final 1:48 of the first half. He's got Mackey to his right, Twins to the right as well. Snap back, Kolka throws it short, and it's knocked down by Dante Mason. Mason jumped up, his 5'10" frame, jumped up to block that pass as Kolka was going short to his left.
And on that one right there, sending 3, and now they've switched to sending Spruce from the linebacker spot. Was on the line and now kind of going over and now through the middle of the line on some of these plays. He's getting back there quickly. The defensive line for Duluth, great pressure right there.
Well, they're bunched in defensively right here. Kolka looking. He's going to go to his left again, and again being pressured. There's Spruce in his face.
And this is great for Duluth. Not only are the Lunkers not moving the ball, but time is not ticking. 2 incomplete passes. Great defense right now from Duluth, bunching up on the line. Again, they're expecting these short plays. I would have assumed that maybe we're beginning to take a shot in this part of the field, but 3rd and 10, now your opportunity to do that, not really there anymore.
Kolka has some time, now throws it short, left side. Caught by Mackey. Mackey shifts direction. Oh, he's tripped up. He had a little bit of running room, but caught by the ankle at the 21-yard line. Now they're going to mark it at about the 23, so They've got 3 yards to go to get the first down. Matt Rush in the backfield with Kolka. They send Key to the right. 4 seconds on the play clock. 3.
Pressure here.
Down to 1. Here comes pressure. Here's a throw. Middle of the field. Caught. First down. Sanders Johnson is going to be bull rushed out of bounds, but a first down for the Lunkers there as Johnson Sanders makes the catch.
And the Monsters done a great job guarding those short rub routes off the line from Payne and Sanders until they really needed to. He's able to find the middle of the field wide open, send everyone, and that's a price you got to pay when you make a move like that on the defense.
Payne in motion. Oh, he was wide open for a little bit. Ball caught by Matt Rush. Rush with the short possession catch there. Picks up about 4 yards, and with 17 seconds to play, Lunker's going to call a timeout here to talk about the play. They spreads them out offensively. See if the Harbor Monsters send in. They are going to blitz. Kolka going back the other way. A pass intended for Matt Rush. So he was rolling right, and he threw back left to Rush, and it was a little too tall for Matt.
Always dangerous throwing back up that part of the field. There's not a lot of room to operate. The defense is going to crash on that one quickly. For a minute there, Devontae Key open on a little crosser, unable to find the window to put that ball into, though, which is what settled him to make the throw quickly back over.
Vertical motion by Rush. Here's a pass right side. Rush with the catch, a first down inside the 5-yard line, down to the 4. And it'll be first and goal with 11 seconds.
Timeout.
Nope, that's
Ozarks.
actually Key
Please
with
put 12
the catch.
seconds on the clock.
Well, those
12
single
seconds.
numbers get you on the other side of the field sometimes. But that was
Lunkers
Devontae.
fan.
Here we go. 11 seconds, 12 seconds to play. Kolka fires it into the end zone, incomplete. At about the 1, intended for Johnson Sanders. Stops the clock with 8.2 seconds to play. Lunkers get their play, get up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to go
Fans, your Lunkers are
got
in
two
on the right
Simmons
side.
Bank red zone.
The line spread out now for Duluth. We've seen them bunched up a bunch.
Yep.
Now a little spread out as we get closer to the end zone.
They're coming. Here's a pass in the end zone. Caught! Quick
Pass
hitter
complete to number
is
8,
caught.
Rajay Johnson Sanders.
Johnson
for
Sanders with the
Lunkers.
touchdown. Quick hitter from Kolka. And the Lunkers take a 1-point lead, 26-25.
And he's the man who had the touchdown in this territory earlier in the game. It was a similar route, lost in coverage off a little bit of a rub. It was a crosser. This time, just shoots straight up, and then on a simple curl route. The size of Sanders really valuable in that area right there. Went right to him, played to his strength. Now a chance to make a 3-point lead, 5.2 left.
Go for 2 from the 10-yard line. Kolka is going to fire it left. It is caught by Mackey, but he's not going to get in.
Extra point
And
try is no
we have
good.
5 seconds remaining in the first half. Player down. That's Mackey slow getting up. Can ill afford to lose him. But the Lunkers take the lead here with 5 seconds to play, 26-25.
5 seconds left in the half. Lunkers take the lead again.
Enough time for the
26-25.
throw off here, and
fans,
then
if you
we'll
need some
have
more
our
excitement, just
military
remember, the
appreciation
Lunkers scored.
halftime
That means
show
you're getting
coming
some
up,
free
which will be
Huey
fun.
McGoose tomorrow.
Got some of the veterans lined up below us, and they'll have a little parade on the field. Get a little AstroTurf under their feet. Field looks beautiful from up here, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Beautiful field. Love the color of it from way up here. Also the look of the arena. Very nice building we get to play in here at the fairgrounds at Wilson Logistics Arena. Interesting to see how the Lunkers will play this one, however. Don't want to afford a return back the other way. Trying to get this ball to hit the ground or even maybe just throw it out of bounds, but see what they do.
Daniel with the throw off for the Lunkers. And he's going to throw it away. So, yep, they'll just take it over at midfield.
Flag on
And
the field.
they'll have one play basically here. What
Throw
kind
off
of
infraction,
prevent
throwing
defense
team.
do you have in
Ball went out of bounds, ball
7-on-7
went
football?
25-yard
That's the
line.
question.
First down. Duluth.
25 yards out would be only really need to send one man, and for the Lunkers, that's going to be Gabe Smith. So really, you got to keep everyone else back in coverage. But with 5.2 seconds left, it's enough time. Some quick underneath route from the line, or a quick line back hitter, or running back hitting it and just getting out of bounds. So got to be careful underneath, but
Could be
pretty
a trick
much
play too, you know. I mean, this could be your trick play to end the half.
don't think it's any different than from a man up 3 deep. Well, in this case, as the Lunkers are lining up, as you can see on your screen here, about the same view we get. Looks like man up 4 deep here, and then maybe even with the running lanes, you keep Smith, not even just pressure him, but you let him come back towards the middle of the field, then come back in case Johnson decides to rush.
Motion man vertical. They're going to go short, and they're going to go out of bounds, so they move it up about 10 yards anyway for the first down. Go short to the right side. Ball caught by Couch. Nobody really covering him there.
First down.
They'll give up another one of those as long as it's not 15 yards.
Except only 2.1 seconds. You won't have enough time to get out of bounds to run another play after that.
They could do it again here because nobody's covering either one of the outside receivers. But
then you got to wonder, maybe over here on the other side, linebacker knows that, tries to jump and maybe try and get a quick tip or a pick off it, especially with an 0-2. So that was a midseason signing as well as he is for the Lunkers.
he's a savior. Here's Johnson rolling to his left, throws it deep into the end zone. Leaping up with the catch. It is caught.
Complete. Touchdown. Harbor Monsters.
What a play by Duluth, by Couch, 6'5" wide receiver, able to outleap the defender. What a play by the Harbor Monsters. Johnson rolling to his left and then throws back to his right as he was backing up on the play. And the Harbor Monsters take the lead here. And we'll have halftime after this point after attempt. They're going to go for 2. Use your size. That's what both teams have done. Snap back to Johnson, rolls to his left again. He's going to try the same play. Throws it up in the air. Oh! Coming down on the concrete for the Harbor Monsters. Hard. He jumped over. That was Flowers Sr.
What?
Gervais Flowers Sr. leaps over the wall and on the con set for the second half throw off. It'll be Johnson Sanders throwing for the Lunkers. Gets his arm into it. A low throw. High bounce lumped up in the end zone by the Harbor Monsters and dragged down at about the 1. What a defensive play there by the Lunkers.
That's going to be number 5. Brock Carter was the one who made the play. And that's about as textbook as a throw-off you want right there. Bounce up right there, down at the 1. Or around the 1, we're actually going to put it up around the 2 or the 3 for Duluth. And if you're the Lunkers, you're down 5 in this scenario. I say this got to blitz here, got to bring some pressure. We've seen him do it before and generate some safeties. Already won tonight.
Yeah, well, this area too. High snap here would result in perhaps another one. Javante Johnson in the end zone, setting up as quarterback. He's going to fire it right side, caught at the 9-yard line. There's that big tight end again. Catch made over there. I believe that's not McAllister, that's Couch. Couch is 6'5", McAllister's 6'4", both of them 220 pounds. Second down and short. Vertical motion. Johnson drops back, rolls to his left, then his right. He's going to throw off balance. Ball caught at the 15. And again, using the size there, be a first down. That is McAllister that time. So he goes from 6'5" to 6'4". To have that kind of size as a receiver is huge. They've already used it to their benefit for a late score.
A lot of jump balls along the sidelines and in the corner. Definitely been using that size. And it's been working for him well. One of the reasons why this passing game is as good as it is.
Quick hitter again on the right side and not going anywhere. Thrown down inside the 5 by once again, I believe, the Lunkers with Brock Carter making the hit. They'll mark the ball at the 5 as forward progress stopped there. So big loss there on that quick hitter.
And that one, since he said behind the line, is going to count as a rush.
Johnson takes a snap low, rolls to his left, being rushed, throws it deep downfield, got a man open. Oh, caught and dropped by Flowers Sr. The ball was a little behind him and a little behind the defender. Flowers Sr. jumps up, had to reach back and nearly hauled it in. You'll see it there.
Daniel did get a hand on it too. Saw it from our angle up here. Great play. The jump ball has definitely been something, again, we said it just a second ago, has been working. That time wasn't there. And in general in this game, not a lot of shots downfield. One of the few that we have seen. That one incomplete. Now 3rd and 20.
Johnson takes a snap. He's got all kinds of time. Now he's going to look like he was going to rush. He throws it instead to Williams. Williams nearly gets it to midfield, but not enough for the first down. He comes up probably 2 yards, 3 yards shy of his first down marker.
Number 9, half the goal line.
Yep, I was about to say it was a flag on the play, holding. Saw it from all the way up here and across the field. Going to get called. You're going to see it here. And right there, saw it briefly for a minute. It was actually on, you're watching it there, the left side. Couldn't quite make the number out. Looked to me from that spot, number 9 was the man in charge for holding for the Harbor Monsters. So now push back to the 5. First down marker at the, now going to be at the 3, in between the 3 and the 2. Have to get to midfield for a first. And now right back to where they were.
Yeah.
Crowd really getting into it now along that left side.
Johnson being rushed. Looks downfield. He's going to throw it as far as he can. And the ball's nearly caught again. Incomplete, intended for Couch, as he actually bumped into the wall as he was trying to make that catch, and I think that jarred the ball out.
And I'm going to expect a surrender here. And yep, the units are changing, as that great way to open the half for the secondary for the Lunkers. Able to get big deflections and big incompletions down on the deep ball.
So surrender, we should mention this. You can either go for it or surrender. They are surrendering here, which means the Lunkers will get it at the 15-yard line. So they were just too far back on 4th down. They had to surrender it. Now the Lunkers take over at the 15.
Showing in tie here again. Expecting pressure off the far side. Normally it's been runs to Mackey here, and I think this is going to be all-out fire call, if you will.
They give it to Mackey, trying to get outside of the right, slips through a defender, and is finally pushed into the wall after a gain of about 8. I mean, once he gets through that, the initial contact at the line of scrimmage, boy, he just squirts through there.
See it here, able to beat, the key of it is beating the interior defensive lineman. That's the key to set all this up. On that one, it was Michael Austin Fields. If you were able to beat that guy, most of the time you're able to get outside.
Coca fires it short. It is caught by the Lunkers wide receiver Johnson Sanders across midfield, and that'll be enough for a Lunkers first down. So impressed by Kolka, just how, I mean, he's not nervous at all his first week. Probably doesn't have the full playbook in, but he's just run this offense brilliantly. Here's a pitch to Mackey. All kinds of running room to the left. Still on his feet inside the 5. Down to the 1-yard line where he stopped. What a run by Mackey, and a perfect play call. We saw it look like you could drive a truck through the hole on the left side.
It's a great scheme right there. They haven't ran the ball out of that type of formation. And as I was saying it earlier, The pitch, if you run it correctly like that, opens so much space along the left side. They might be taking a look at this. He might have gone over. I don't think they will. I think there's a quick talk about it, and now they're back in the huddle. But again, that type of pitch play, when it's working, is one of the better plays that this Ozark Lunkers team is able to run. You'll see it here for sure. Yep. Elbow. He's down there. Can't tell from that angle. Flag on the play. Going to be a pre-snap penalty. I couldn't tell right there from the angle. Could have maybe gotten the tip of the ball.
Offense, 5-yard
First
penalty.
delay of game against Colca.
Well, coming in the third quarter, I am not mad with that one right there. Again, adjusting to a new league, 20 seconds, not a lot of time. This will push this back, though, to around the 6. Still going bunched up here in a power.
Yep, under center, too, is Colca. He's got a fullback in front of him. They're going to give to Mackey going left. He gets by one tackler and slips into the end zone for the score. Great second effort by Mackey for the score. He had 3 yellow jerseys around him and able to lean forward and dive from about the 3-yard line in for the touchdown. Right there.
What a play right there again. One of the areas of the field where Brandon Mackey excels in, putting the shoulder down, making guys miss, and just running head down straight into the end zone. Lunkers take the lead in a drive captivated by Brandon Mackey.
Going to go for one here. Colca gets to play. 2 wide receivers on the right side, Mackey on the left. Forward motion by Rush. Passes to Rush, and it's overthrown as Colca goes down forward. Rush was open, but he let him too much.
And Rush,
incomplete.
I think Rush ran through the door right there, went straight into the bench. Someone forgot to put the lock on the door, went through it and into the Lunkers bench. A little dangerous when cleats meet concrete like that, but
failed PAT by the Lunkers, but they do take the lead by 1, 32-31 over the Monsters. And now Duluth will get the ball back. We have 9:23 to play in this third quarter. The Lunkers come in 2-3 this season, while the Harbor Monsters are 4-1. They host Eau Claire next week, while the Lunkers have Iowa next week. And again, if you'd like to get tickets, you can easily do that. Lunkers tickets can be obtained by going to ozarklunkers.com. DuluthMonsters.com is the website to get tickets for the Harbor Monsters. Here's a throw off by Johnson Sanders, still running, weaving in and out, got some running room on the outside, still on his feet, diving forward to about the 20. Wow, what a return. Ran at least 60 yards to pick up 20.
what a return down there. And again, making a lot of dance moves in this one. Catches it here. It's always dangerous when the guy is able to cut back over the middle of the field like that. Does it multiple times. Great moves to get up here. Frolics his way up to the 20. And now the defense comes back out, needing another big stand right here. Only up one now, as that's another lead change.
That's Flowers Sr. with the return. My goodness, did he dance. Snap back. Here comes the pitch to the back man. Throw downfield, and it's incomplete. Intended for Dan Williams. There's that pass we had talked about. The double pass, the flip back, the lateral back, and then a pass from the running back downfield.
And I love the aggressiveness of the Harbor Monsters to start this half. But first one incomplete. You kept doing it last drive and ended up you losing the ball, and another score for the Lunkers. I'm say go a little bit more conservative now with that deep shot not hitting the mark.
Johnson's got all kinds of time here again.
Flag on the play. Smith's helmet got knocked off. It's going to come back.
Ball caught, and finally down is Workman with the catch. Johnson had an hour to get
Personal
that
foul.
play off.
Defense number 8, hands to the
reason
face.
being,
So
Smith
penalty
gets,
against the Harbor Monsters.
I don't know if we got a replay, but Smith gets knocked to the ground, gets his helmet pulled off.
Correction.
Reason why.
On the offense.
Oh, that was on the offense. So, yeah, against the Harbor Monsters.
was the reason why Smith wasn't back there and had all the time to throw it. Penalties playing a little factor here for Duluth. Haven't seen him much for the Lunkers. They've been disciplined, but the Harbor Monsters having a couple penalties that have been setting them back. This is the second time now in the quarter. Good field position to start, or you get up to good field position, and then now here you are, backs against the wall again.
Brockman behind the quarterback, Johnson. They're going to go to Brockman. Brockman running downfield, cuts in, and finally down at the 23-yard line. So a good chunk of change brought back on that one by Brockman. And that was that quick little hitter, almost a lateral there by Johnson to Brockman. They're going to keep him back there. That's kind of a double option back there. He can throw the ball, he can run the ball. We haven't seen Johnson run yet. He's going to fire one up downfield, and the ball is incomplete. Some contact near the goal line, and again defending for the Lunkers. That is Brock Carter. And other than one play where he aggressively leaped at a defender when the ball was behind him, he never saw the football.
That time, again, it cuts across the middle field on a wheel route up the middle field. But again, it's really hard to do is along those boards, your shoulder starts to rub up on it. It's a little weird to get used to. His back rubs up against the wall, forces a little contact between him and Carter. That's what the commotion was on the left when Duluth wanted a penalty on that. So now we're going to get a timeout, I'm going to assume here.
Didn't like the way the offensive lineman set up. Duluth calls time. They were taking too much time.
Timeout
as well.
Duluth.
Again, one thing I do say is that with the officiating, the pass interference calls are definitely the ones that are going to be a little bit more difficult to call because, again, guys running right along the boards. It's going to create contact down the other side of the field. Definitely one that the refs paying close attention to. It's a good play right there, though, from Carter, who's having an excellent defensive half to start this one. As now we got the wave going, or they look like the beginnings of.
Yeah, they're throwing
T-shirts.
souvenirs into the stands.
So don't listen to me is what you're hearing. The way they all got up, though, made it look like it.
So the Harbor Monsters ready to go after the timeout. Johnson will be by himself in the backfield here. He's got Williams to his right.
Got 5 yards to go for the marker. Dan Williams in motion.
Johnson being rushed. Way back, he throws it incomplete. Oh, man.
This game's starting to get a little chippy as at the end of that play, Travis gets his helmet pulled off, but a great play defensively.
The blitz called by the Lunkers, just a great play on that 4th and 5, and Johnson was running for his life.
And
two wide receivers on the right side. Koka throws it into the end zone high. It's tipped and knocked down by the Lunkers. That intended for Matt Rush.
Already with one touchdown in this one. Almost gets his second, falls out of the hands right there. Still on the 5. And that's a type of play that's been doing wonders for the Lunkers. As it's been, Rush is one of the few times he has been, but it's mainly been Payne and Johnson Sanders on the line on those little quick routes off the line.
Power here. I think the ball was dropped. Mackey gets the handoff as Koka was falling down. I think there's a problem with the snap. Koka picked it up, was able to give it to Mackey as he was falling down.
And I want to look at something here. Here's the play. Don't know if we got to go look at it there, but I wanted to see if Koka was on the ground. I don't think he was. I think it's still a clean play, but that's definitely what Duluth was arguing.
I thought he was falling down and was able to get it to him on his way down after he picked it up.
That's what it looked like too, but going for one here. Now
You might see that again after this play. 5:12 to play in a quarter. Coca fires it into the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for the Lunkers. Johnson Sanders tried to make a one-handed catch, and he comes away hobbling a little bit. But a 7-point Lunkers lead. Here's the pass. And I don't think he was turned around well enough to make that catch.
And then Sanders came off a little limp and looked like in his right leg or right foot area. Hope he's okay, as he's probably going to take a visit to the trainer's table. So now we'll get the throw off for this one, as you'll see the replay here on this one. Snaps the ball. This was the one to rush, just out of the outstretched arms. Now a 7-point lead.
Daniel will be the throw-off man for the Lunkers. And awaiting on the other side of the field is Maxwell. Daniel steps into it, throws it low, bounces at about the 7 over the head and into the end zone. Where's he going to go?
Trying to fight out, and he's going to get out.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. That dead to rights in the end zone, but able to fight to avoid the safety. Wow. Great play, Maxwell.
6'2", 205 pounds.
It's a good bounce. Then off the hands. A live ball.
Look at those red jerseys coming at
hit
him.
There.
There's a hit.
Knocks Brock Carter over to stay up. Wow. Great determination from Maxwell to stay up on that one.
So deep in their own territory. It's been a game of field position here in the second half, and I think the Lunkers have won that.
And the Harbor Monsters, the team loving to do these really exaggerated motions, doesn't have the space to do it.
Johnson steps up. First time he runs in the game, gets outside, and he will put the ball over the wall and go out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So good decision there for the first time that he runs in this game. You got to run up the running lanes again. And he did that until he crossed the line of scrimmage. Then he can veer outside. The running lanes are the hash marks.
That's something that's been a struggle on the defensive side of the ball for the Lunkers for the year that they haven't had to worry about in this game.
Well, they did last week.
Flag on the play, right on the snap of the ball. We'll see what it is. Jet sweep would be good for about 5 to 6 if it stands.
Couch, the ball carrier, he was the motion man. Coming towards the quarterback, took the handoff and picks up a few. But
got illegal defense. Wasn't lined up on the center. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Lunkers line up off sides, as you hear from the white hat.
So we're going to add 5 yards to about the 6-yard carry for Couch as a man down.
Looks like cramps the way they're working on him.
I'm going to take a guess that for, and I'm going to assume that's going to be Gabe Smith. Again, the replacement defensive lineman for L. Tyser. So they're working him out over there on the other end of the field.
Jake Swerple is in the game, the 6', 310-pound lineman. He was the wrestling champ that came aboard last week for the first time. Minot State. He's at nose tackle right now.
It's just cramps. I'd assume we'd see Smith back out in the next drive, but probably see.
Motion man's going to be the intended receiver, and into the wall again. It's incomplete. And again, that is Couch.
And they're going to have to get some people to help there because that jarred the boards completely loose. Got to get people over there to make sure that the field's still proper working orders. They'll probably get some people over there, maybe a tiny timeout to get that checked out. What a collision on the other end of the field. And a flag now thrown from the Whitecap.
We had an illegal huddle on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Legal huddle.
Coach!
Oh, they can't huddle up. That's right.
Nope.
Cannot huddle up. That's the first call we've had like that in this game. 3:15 to play in the quarter.
We had one last week that was
Yes.
weird because they tried to walk back and talk to their coach mid-play, but not in the way just seen now. Interesting. Again, penalties really not helping Duluth in this third quarter.
Pitch back to Johnson.
Looking deep.
Throws it. It's intercepted by the Lunkers with the ball. Daniel down the left sideline. Intercepted by the Lunkers. That was Johnson trying to throw against his body. He was rolling to his left and throwing to his right the other way. And it's picked off. And the Lunkers, with a 7-point lead, gain possession again here in the third quarter, 2:50 to play.
Again, right there, not a lot of room to go with. Just has to chuck it up. And there's been a couple times that type of play has happened. And that time, finally, the Lunkers able to capitalize. As now, you also see Swerple in on the line as the center.
Lunkers missing a player. Now they get Payne into the game as a lineman.
On the 17.
Rush in motion vertically. They're going to throw it to him. He's open, and it's caught in the end zone. Matt Rush in motion, runs a little curl route, and scores for the Lunkers, who take a 2-score lead here in this second half.
And that's 2 for 2 on times where they've tried to go downfield with Rush. Had one a little bit further of 40 yards earlier in the game. That one just a crosser and shots for the end zone with Matt Rush proving well here. You'll see it a little bit. Gets a couple steps on him in the basket. Great play. Lunkers up by 2 scores now.
Going to go for one here. Mackey in the backfield with Kolka, the quarterback, and the play clock expires.
Offense, 5-yard
Kolka was
penalty.
looking at his
Retry.
play sheet that he has on his waist and couldn't decipher what the play was. That didn't happen much. I think this is the second time, and it's both been on point after attempts. So this is a 1-point after attempt from the 10. It's deceptive, but a penalty moved him back to the 10. Kolka drops back, rolls to his right, steps up, fires the ball to Mackey left side, cuts in, dives forward, going to come up short. About a yard short, and he was tripped up in the process, but boy, it looked like he had some running room. Point after attempt fails, but the Lunkers lead it now 44-31 over the Harbor Monsters, who get the ball back, 1:49 to play in this third quarter. Kolka's numbers look like what right now?
Right now, from what I got up here, again, official stats will be released once game is close to over on Fan Club, but 18 for 26, 149 yards, and 4 touchdowns, excuse me, for Kolka's name. Got to hit the update button. However, 4 touchdowns for Kolka here, 2 of them to Rush and 2 of them to Johnson Sanders, and then 3 in the game for Brandon Mackey on the ground.
So again, with the throw off, it'll be Daniel. Maybe he's won that position.
That'll be Maxwell on the return for Duluth.
Here's the throw. Maxwell picks it up at the 7, runs straight ahead, and will get it to the 20-yard line before he is down. And the Harbor Monsters will take over there. Mentioned the scores from last year, and the Harbor Monsters have never lost to the Lunkers. But man, oh man, did they dominate in the last 2 games last year, Ryan? Player down, and they're working on him right now. But the last 2 games against Javante Johnson. Oh, snap is low, bounces. Johnson picks it up, and he is touched at the 11-yard line. We haven't had too many bad snaps in the game. One early that went over the head of the quarterback Johnson, ended up being a safety. And now this one was a little bit too low, and Johnson goes scrambling after it on his knees to pick it up. Big loss there. And again, second half field position, all Lunkers.
And it's been things where, honestly, Duluth can fix these. They're simple mistakes that you got to improve on. These bad snaps can't be affording those, especially it's affording the position the Lunkers get. It's forcing these long, deep balls that, frankly, the Lunkers have done a way better job covering.
Come in this possession, takes a snap, steps up. He's going to throw deep downfield, man open, and it's incomplete. Intended for Flowers Sr. Had 2 steps on a defender in the end zone. The one and arm by Brockman. That was from his end zone.
Absolute cannon down the other field. King was the one in pursuit. The cutover from the safety position in the middle of the field. That ball's on target. Probably is able to get there to generate some type of fight for the football, but that one, again, overthrown. Now got a counting mile to the first down marker.
Brockman, a guy that could run, and there he thought about it. Now he does. He's going to throw it downfield. Man open again, and it's overthrown and getting there a little bit late, but able to really kind of confuse the intended receiver on the play, who is James Harden.
On the offense.
Defensive play made there by Ewing Jr.
And there's holding on the offense. So even if the play was made, would be going back anyways, as now I think a surrender coming up. Defensive unit throwing on their helmets, getting ready to move out. That's what it looked like. No, it's actually just going to make a change.
Now
nope, here, I was about to say. I didn't think they would keep going with it.
Plus 15-yard line, first down.
With 10.5 left in the third, about to be in the fourth quarter. It's a big drive for the Lunkers to try and just add on to this lead, especially with some of the nail biters we've had in the tackle box that we've gotten to call. Definitely want to put this one in a league where in the snap of the finger, you can really get to a close game quick in just a couple of drives.
So again, to surrender means the opponent, it means you don't run a play and the opponent gets the ball at their own 15-yard line. Second time now that the Harbor Monsters have surrendered. Kolka brings his team up again, leading 44-31 in the third quarter. Rush in motion. Stepping up in the pocket was Kolka. His throw incomplete, intended for Devontae Key. Open, there's Rush wide open. From the 5, he makes the catch for another touchdown. Kolka to Rush. How many times have we heard that tonight?
Another deep ball to Matt Rush from Kolka. Rush's third touchdown of the night. It's going to be Kolka's 5th. And again, we said it earlier in the game. From this little pitch formation, it's only a matter of time before they switch to a play action. And right there, Rush is the man you want going downfield in that scenario. And right there, gets a step, sends it down. Smoke machines go off. 6 more on the board, Lunkers.
Going to go for 2 here, leading 50-31 over the Harbor Monsters. Kolka sends Rush forward in motion. He's going to go to his right. Spin move by Payne, but he's not going to get in. Good stop made there by the Harbor Monsters. That is Kevin Simmons with the hit to keep the offensive man out of the end zone. But 50-31, so let's see. This season, Duluth gave up 56 to Iowa and won 71-56. That's the only game they gave up 50 points or more so far this season. That was the opener at Iowa. They gave up 56 points, but they won 71-56.
And that concludes with the quarter ending, an entire quarter, the Duluth scoreless in the third quarter. Going in up 31-26, the Lunkers putting up a ton of points. Harbor Monsters unable to get anything going on offense. Again, going aggressive out of the half with the lead, with the deep ball. Continued throughout the third quarter. Nothing could connect.
Daniel will throw off for the Lunkers. And it's going to go into the stands, so the Harbor Monsters will get it at midfield. And again, there's a lot of time. You see the Lunkers scored 24 points in the third quarter, basically, that play just moments ago. But 24 in the – so you look at it, it's only a 19-point lead right now. And the Harbor Monsters have the best passing attack. One of them, anyway. They're number 2 in the league in the Arena League. So we'll see what their quarterback, Javante Johnson, does here. He's got some tall receivers. He rolls to his right, throws short. It is caught. Couch, some running room forward. He slips inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. That controlled passing attack. They get a lot of yards after the catch, don't they?
Yes, they do, especially on those short little underneath routes. Great job cutting back up middle of the field to get 12 on that one from McAllister. And it's those quick plays where the run after the catch really going to help you out get back in this one. You don't need them all at once, but it's good to have those types of plays.
Snap given to running back. Is he in? They're going to say he is for the score. Just like that, 2 plays. And the Harbor Monsters get in.
And on that one right there, contact made, but the defender hits the wall. The runner stays inbounds, not touching the wall on that one from this vantage point. So that's going to be a score. There's no need to relook that one over. As Flowers Sr., his first touch of the game is up 6 for Duluth, as they're going to be going for 2 to make this an 11-point game.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't take long. Johnson spreads it out. Dropping back. Sidearm toss. Caught at the 5, but well defended by the Lunkers. Felix King in there to make the stop. And it's 50-37. Lunkers over the Monsters. Again, if you'd like to get tickets for the next home game, and both teams will be at home next week, easy to do, OzarksLunkers.com, and that is plural, OzarksLunkers.com. Or you can get tickets for the Monsters game at Deck Arena next week, DuluthMonsters.com. That's the address to get tickets for that contest. They will take on Eau Claire next week. They played them once on the road. Now they'll play them in Duluth next weekend. Meanwhile, the Lunkers host Iowa. They lost to Iowa 61-42 earlier this season. Mason with the throw-off for the Monsters. We're in the fourth quarter, 12:57 to play in the game. Play clock winding down, and he's going to get it off just in time. Inside the 10, ball caught and diving forward. Emory Bryant Jr. And the Lunkers will take over there. So they've got to keep pace here offensively, which you'd expect them to do. They've got their offensive unit going. Very impressed with this first game of Tyler Kolka, what he's done in less than a week. Now, he's come in not only in mid-season form, end-of-season form, which is as good as you get, because he played a full season of AF1 football. There's the Lunkers trying to get outside to the left. That's Mackey again, the ball carrier. He's the workhorse on the ground. That's why the Lunkers are the number 1 rushing team in the league right now. Second down and short for the Lunkers after that Mackey run of 8.
Trailing close behind him second. Coming into this one, he led the league with 449. With 452 was Jordan Ambrose, quarterback for the Hot Springs Wise Guys. So those two atop the league in rushing by a long shot.
Mackey gets away, still on his feet, grinding across midfield, and enough for a first down. He gets 4 more yards, hard-earned yards on that drive.
And every single handoff he gets, they are hard-earned yards, as you just said previously. fights for every yard, a great player to have on your team, and something in a league that is promoted to be faster paced, expected to see more passing, more motion. Sticking to the ground with Mackey, going back to some traditional football, and it's working for the Lunkers.
Eating up some time on the clock right now, keeping it on the ground. They fake to Mackey. They're going to go with the double pass. Here's Rush downfield, caught by Johnson Sanders. So Rush on the right side of the field throws across the field all alone, but the ball was lofted. I mean, it was really up in the air to Johnson Sanders, and he will pick up about 7 yards on that completion.
And on that one right there, I mean, Duluth was not ready for a pass back over middle of the field from that play right there. So even though the ball was lofted, everyone bit towards the left side. No one to cover Sanders.
Here's the pitch out to Mackey. Mackey down the left sidelines and in for the score. 17-yard run by Brandon Mackey. He got outside, and again, he's so tough, that initial contact breaks through it twice.
And right there, you slow it down, stays off the wall, inbounds, tiptoes, and finds the red turf for 6 more. As the Lunkers going to be going for 2, but again, so dangerous on that outside, fights for every yard, but also still very elusive. Best of both worlds for Brandon Mackey.
Going for 2 here. Low snap and a high throw. No way that Coca could do anything with that. The rush was on. By the time he picked it up, he saw 3 yellow jerseys in the backfield. Nope, not going to do anything here. But back to a 56-37 lead. Lunkers with 10:21 to play in the contest.
Put it back to 19. Good counterpunch here on this one, as it's all about defending the league. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense if you're able to score like the way the Lunkers have been able to. Keep this lead out of reach for Duluth. Still plenty of time, 10:21 left. And again, as we have seen many of times in some viewers at home watching games for the Arena League, scores and leads can change in the snap of a finger.
Lunkers with the throw off again.
You'll see now Maxwell sitting way up almost on the 10, right now at the in between the 6 and the 7, the way the ball's been bouncing.
And again, the ball's thrown out of bounds by Daniel. By design, I think, or?
Yeah, well, with those low throws that the Lunkers have been throwing, you see Maxwell creeping up because he's just going to catch it right on the 9, trying to get a little bit of a running start. Had a great return back to midfield the one time they did it. And once they started doing that is when the Lunkers just elect to start throwing it out of bounds. They can't throw it short and get those bounces. They're just going to elect to chuck it out of bounds and give them to the 25. As now Brockman's back on the field, was off the entirety of the last drive.
Well, he's in at running back again behind Johnson. So again, that double pass is set up. They fake the pitch to him. They're going to go downfield. Man open in the end zone, and it's incomplete. Boy, he was wide open. A great pass by Javante Johnson. Wide open in the end zone.
They're setting up for Brockman on another one of the pitch passes. Great job. Lunkers read it. Try to get the crosser in the hands, but it's a great recovery to get back to the ball. And great defensive play made by Ewing Jr.
Just had the Lady Lures go by us up here.
Secondary, different unit from first half to second half.
Pitch back, here it is. We talked about it all game. Now he's going to try to run. Did he get across the line of scrimmage? Throw into the end zone is caught, but a flag in the backfield. Caught for a touchdown, but we will see. So I think he crossed the line of scrimmage.
I think he did too.
And then threw it.
Yep. I think his multiple flags. It looked like he did cross. Might this year. I doubt Duluth will do it again anyway. So I think this is 4-down territory.
Yeah. Should be.
I don't think they should have the last time around, but definitely won't this time.
Here's a pass downfield into the end zone. Tipped up and incomplete. Helmets go flying again.
A player.
Boy, momentarily, Duluth had 2 players wide open. Flowers Sr., one of those.
A collection of bodies as someone was sent over. Now people running over
Maybe a fan that got hurt. Nope, one of the players, one of the Lunkers ended up in the stands or in the, I guess, suites over there.
And one of the boxes along the edge of the floor. I do think out of the games that we've gotten to call, Tom, this is by far the most physical one we've gotten to call. Part of the walls coming off, guys getting sent over. Fun to watch, a little scary in some of the moments that we've had tonight, but exciting nonetheless.
4th and 16, I believe, here for the Harbor Monsters. Trips to the left.
4 men sitting on the line of scrimmage for the Lunkers. Deep
pressure. Here's a throw downfield, and it's overthrown and out of play. Incomplete, and it'll be a change of possession here. The Lunkers get it back with pretty good field position.
And the 6'5" Workman was there. Open, and it was just a bad throw, sends it over. So now the crowd on their feet getting real into this one, 8:25 left to go. That's a play you got to make. That's a first, and that one is going to be one they're going to want back. So see it here on the replay. They evade the tackle, rolls out, and again, open. Just unable to connect on that one. Carter was not going to be able to get to him in time.
Lunkers come up after calling the play. Again, no huddles. Quarterback Tyler Kolka looking at his play. 4 seconds on the play clock. Is he going to get it off? There's a snap, just did. Throws it, the ball is tipped. Incomplete. Broken play there by the Lunkers, 2nd and 10. So you would think, well, the clock continues to tick here, even despite the fact that it was an incomplete pass. Different than other leagues in football. They're in tight. The give is to Mackey. Mackey sees a seam and is pushed into the wall at about the 5. Boy, is Mackey showing some speed. So much different defense than last week when Hot Springs really keyed on Mackey. They were not going to let Mackey beat them last week.
And the difference in that being is the contain. The contain for Hot Springs was able to keep him in the inside, force him to not be able to cut out. This time, Duluth not able to contain him on the inside as much as Hot Springs was able to, and he is dangerous along the edge, as we've been able to see all games so far.
Not going to get this play off. Now timeout's called. Smart.
Timeout.
Polka was trying to direct the team offensively, and they recognized they were going to a bunch of wide receivers on the line right now.
You got 9 in the box currently.
Snap back. Throw is incomplete. Intended over there for Emery Bryant Jr. Tough play. They threw it up in the air. Bryant's not a big guy. Bryant listed at 5'9", 175, but Kolka threw it up in the air, see if he could outleap his defender. 2nd and goal. Rush is on. They throw short to Mackey. Mackey dancing, still on his feet, cuts in, and he'll be dragged down at the 4-yard line. Boy, is he strong. 3, make it 4 Harbor Monsters needed to take Mackey down, and he drug him 3 extra yards after contact.
And that would have been a loss in the backfield if he's tackled where he's first touched, but fights again for those extra 3 yards to get to put him inside the 5 here for this 3rd and goal down at the 4. See, we'll go to that power formation that we normally see them in, and
not going to get this play off. Nope. Yeah, they've got a clock right below us, so the quarterback. The give. Nope, this is a quarterback keeper. He rolls out and hits Payne for the score.
Number 3, Kendrick Payne.
That was a play action fake to the running back, Mackey.
Touchdown.
Kolka then rolled to his left and found Payne in the end zone for the TD. Great looking play there. In tight. We haven't seen much of that play action, but great play by Kolka and a good pass to Payne.
No, we haven't, but that in tight power formation has been working very effectively for the Lunkers. Very rare that they haven't been able to score off that, and that is also Payne's first touchdown of the game. Been rather quiet as of this one. Only 12 yards also in this one, but able to get on the board.
Going to go for one here. Double motion. And the ball's caught by Mackey. Mackey down at the 5 on a broken play.
Extra point try is no good.
Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Boy, Coca, what a game he has played in his first game in the Arena League. It's where you kind of build your legend, isn't it? I mean, he had that coming in from the league he was in Nashville, plus 2 seasons in Japan. The AF1 8-player league led his team to the championship game. But boy, oh boy, first game here in the Arena League. How many touchdowns now? 5 or 6,
We're at
I
6
think.
now. 3 to Matt Rush, 1 to Payne, and then 2 to Johnson Sanders.
Here's a throw off again, and it's going into the stands.
And that's
Souvenir.
Also 4 for Brandon Mackey.
Throw off fraction. Throw off team. Ball be placed at the
So
45-yard
another
line. First
penalty,
down, Blue.
and the Harbor Monsters will get it at midfield.
After the penalty, the ball will be spotted at
With
midfield.
4:59 to
First down,
play in the
Harbor
game,
Monsters.
62-37. This season, the Lunkers, high score that they have scored, they had 54 against St. Joe, 44 against Eau Claire, 42 against Iowa, 45 against Hot Springs, and 48 against Hot Springs. So this is the high score of the season for the Lunkers, 62 points.
3 seconds left. Got to get this ball off.
They say he did. Bullet pass, a little bit too low that time by
Pass is
Brockman.
incomplete. Second down.
Brockman came in, and he hasn't he was 47 of 74 as a quarterback for 365 yards. I mean, that's above 50%, but he's not throwing the ball well in this game.
Got him for 1 for 7 right now. Not going to help the completion percentage.
He'll hand it off here. This is the running back, James Harden, trying to dance his way forward
James Harden with a
and may
carry.
get it to the 20-yard line before he's stopped.
And a catch
Clock
of Lunkers
continues to
gets
tick.
stopped
Under
on
4
defense.
minutes to play in the
This
game.
brings up third down.
62-37 the score. Brockman, shotgun, looking downfield, got all kinds of time, throws it up in the air, wide open in the left part of the end zone, and caught.
Williams.
Again,
Touchdown,
great pass
Harbor
pattern.
Monsters.
Catch made. Is that Couch again with the catch?
That was Williams, actually.
Oh, Dan Williams.
And that's going to be his 3rd of the day.
They've had some wide open touchdowns.
Yes, they have. Some of
catches.
these scheming for their plays been very well. And Dan Williams also with 80 yards, only 1 pass or reception so far that's been under 10 yards. So good day at the office for him.
Going for the extra point. That is Brockman, who
try
runs it
is
in, goes through the running lanes, and scores to make it now 62-44. Lunkers lead it. 3:26 to play.
And now a drive coming up. I'm going to bet Brandon Mackey's going to be able to help build his stat line a little bit. The lead they got 3:26, just probably looking to choose some clock here in this one, and I wouldn't be surprised to avoid
Duluth
that
is elected to go for
if
an
Duluth
onside
just
conversion.
chucks it out of bounds.
Ball be placed at the 5-yard line. First down.
So we'll have a throw off, but the penalty is.
We also were going to get into the opportunity where
This is the onside conversion.
Hang on.
Again, the Harbor Monsters trailing in the second half. An untimed play here for the team trailing in the second half, but they've got to get it to midfield or the Lunkers take over. So again, that prevent defense, they'll spread them out a little bit.
Flowers in motion.
Brockman rolling to his left, and the ball is tipped right there by the Lunkers. That is Gabe Smith with the tip, reaching up to knock that ball down. So the Lunkers will get it after that. That's that one untimed play in either half when the team trailing gets the ball from their own 5, but they have to get it to midfield on that play to keep the drive going.
And Gabe Smith, in his one game he has had, he's been having a good game up to this point. That a great defensive play on the deflection, a sack to his name. Also in this one, having a good day at the office, as now here are the Lunkers on their 5-yard line, or on the Duluth 5-yard line, excuse me.
So a chance to add to their lead. They give it to Mackey going right. Boy, he's pinned in over there, tried to get out of it, and pinned against the wall. So he'll lose some yardage on that play. Good defense by the Harbor Monsters. But the clock continues to tick, under 3 minutes to play in the game. Lunkers lead at 62-45. The most points they've scored this season. New quarterback has made all the difference in the world for the Ozarks Lunkers. Tyler Kolka played at Lawrence Tech University. Where? It's in Ohio. There's a catch made, a little quick in by the Lunkers. That is Payne. No, that's Key with the reception back to the original line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up a 3rd and goal here, approaching the 2-minute warning. They may get a playoff here. It is close. Yep, they'll have to run at least one play, and then we'll have the 2-minute warning.
He's got to snap this ball.
They do get it. Oh, somebody must have called time.
I think maybe the conversion might have gotten there. Yep.
2-minute warning.
2-minute warning is what the call is. We'll take a break. Lunkers lead at 6. And again, they go with Brockman at quarterback. Trailing in the game. Brockman threw a touchdown. He's going to run up the middle. He's got some running room. Right up the middle. Cuts outside. Dragged down at the 12. They haven't used that running lane much, but Brockman, a little better wheels than Johnson. Able to move it up quickly. Gets the first down.
Only got one timeout left, too. Got to hurry.
Motion man left side. We're going to fire a quick one. The ball is caught and dropped after the hit. Felix King applies the pressure there defensively. Right as the ball was caught, King lays a wallop, and the ball knocked to the turf.
And again,
2nd and 10.
This secondary, different unit in this second half, and playing great football.
Brockman, high snap, gives it to Harden, and Harden is jammed into the wall at about the 6-yard line. 1:10 to play in the game, and a Lunker down right at about the 50 to play, trailing 62-45. Snap to Brockman, he gives it to the motion man who's tripped up in the backfield. Defense there by Bird to get his shoulder pads in on the play. So no gain on that one. Clock continues to tick. 4 wide receivers on the right side for the Harbor Monsters. Going to fire a bullet in the end zone, and it's tipped, knocked away by Felix King. Boy, great anticipation there by King.
Great defensive play, sat on it perfectly, great jump. Watched the quarterback's eyes, stayed in his spot. That is great defensive work, and now
victory formation for the Lunkers here.
A little bit of celebration coming from the Lunkers. You see a
first down, Lunkers.
Quick hug right there from 2 players, one from the Lunkers, one from Duluth. It's going to be from Duluth. It's going to be McAllister and Bird.
So the Lunkers can kneel here if they'd like, but they're going to run a play. Snap. The give is to Mackey. Tries to get outside to the right, crosses the 5 to the 8. Helmets go flying again. Boy, they can't keep their helmets on. It's one thing about this league. I don't know why, but helmets just about every play, somebody's losing a helmet.
Yeah, definitely one thing. Coach is going to yell at you to keep your chin strap on, but honestly with the
center and be victory formation here. He will take a knee, and how about a first game for Tyler Kolka? What a job he did for the Ozarks Lunkers.
Finishes this game with 193 yards and 6 touchdowns to his name. Welcome to the tackle box and welcome to Springfield, Missouri, Mr. Kolka. Great win for the boys in the Scarlet Red, up to 3-3.
Fly away. It's the first time of today.